This is the Oldsmar Flea Market. I can't even see my screen, so I'm hoping, zooming in on the sign. Sunday afternoon, and we're at the flea market. It's not as crowded as it would be in the morning, but it's still got a lot of people here. This is the Oldsmar Flea Market. You might think it's the Wagon Wheel Flea Market because they have all these wagon wheels. Some over here too. Alright, let me get inside. This place has both indoor and outdoor areas. The older part of the flea market has lanes that are pretty narrow. If this were earlier in the day, this would be almost impossible to pass through. It's still pretty hard now. People stopping in front of you.
The crummy part about it is I'm left-handed, so I have to put it backward. Well, that was good.
Store with neon lights. Old cassette tapes. Stuffed animals. CDs, records. Yeah, I'm shy enough in a mall doing this at a flea market. It seems tougher. Remote control vehicles.
Okay, all right. I'll unfriend her.
I think I had my hand in the way. Tropical plants. When a gift that keeps giving. Geraniums. They used to be pretty easy for me to grow. I should get some of those. Not today, though. Smile your own camera. So are you. That looked like a fake camera, but it does have a video hookup, so who knows. I'm going to cross over here, and instead of going up the breezeway, just cross over outside here into the next alley. Yeah, you can tell it's definitely later in the day. Yeah, I don't like navigating these narrow spaces because people just stop suddenly. You don't know where they're going to go. We can go up to the newer area. It's a snack shack. I know I have a habit of shutting the camera off quickly usually if I get nervous, which doesn't leave a lot of room after I record something to edit with. Here's the eating area. The newer areas are much bigger than the older areas. I'm going to walk over to the end. Okay, I'm going to try to record this little display they have over here, but I may not talk during it because there are people around. I think it's right here. It's all about a circus. It looks like a circus. I'm not focusing here because of the glass.
Just reminiscing back when we got married almost 36 years ago. Right, Janet? I would work with teeth.
I don't just want the place to be crowded so I don't draw attention to myself. This is the main breezeway. I'm headed right to the back. See it? They set up picnic tables and there's all kinds of food stands here. This is the very end of the flea market. It's where the restrooms are. And they call the side alleys buildings. Apparently this is Building J. I don't know why, but the end buildings always seem where the furniture is. Hello, Dolly. I always like going through these areas. Ooh, piano. I don't have any room where I live for any of this stuff. Big display cabinet, china cabinet, tech case, mattresses, furniture, all shapes and sizes. I don't know whether it's because it's late on Sunday, but a lot of these places are closed up. This is the last alleyway or building in the flea market, so this may just be storage areas. You know, a lot of the vendors may even rent a second unit back here just to have some place to store their extra merchandise. Mattresses. Alright. I'm going to go down to Building I. Again, there's several passageways you can use between the buildings. Alright, this is Building I. Again, these alleyways or buildings that are further back have a lot of furniture. It's probably easier to get them in instead of using one of the narrow alleyways up the front part of the flea market. That's pretty cool. These back alleys or buildings are actually in two parts. If you look through the store here, you can see the other aisle over there that's in Building I. This would be one aisle. You know, there's stuff in the middle of the aisle, but you can see by the size of the roof, the building extends over to the other side. And sometimes it's pretty hard to tell where to cross over because everything looks like a store. But right here, I'm still in building I, crossing over to the other aisle. You can see this place is huge. This is only a quarter of one of the back buildings. You can see maybe, I don't know if you can see where the exit sign is. That's the breezeway. And then this building has the two main aisles. And I'm in building I. So it goes all the way down the alphabets to A. Yeah, pretty big place. One of the $1 stores that you find at almost every flea market. Of course, a lot of things cost much more than $1. I mean, someone could probably make a business just buying stuff for $1 or cheaply here and selling it on eBay. The whole crowd's coming in. Okay, I'll admit it, I got stuck in the dollar store, but I only spent $2, so it wasn't too bad. It's after 2 and the place is starting to thin out. I know most flea markets only go to about 3 or so. This is called Shed Row G. Under a shed. Orchid store. Belts. There was a guy with a macaw on his shoulder. Another shed aisle, but I mean there are stores, but the walkway's under a shed, and they have an outside store area and an inside store area.
Because that's their name they're putting under and I'm sorry.
Well, I made it down to the further end of building D. I've been walking for a while, so I'm starting to get a little worn out. Still nervous about the people too, that gets on my nerves. What's an introvert to do? But I'll be leaving now, I think. So many things here. Let's head out to the parking lot. On the way home, I'll pick something up to eat. Oh, here's some hydroponics. The landlady was interested in this kind of thing. She wanted to do some hydroponic gardening in the backyard. Very interesting. Hydroponics at home. You can find almost anything here. The Old Mar Flea Market. Not to be confused with the wagon wheel, considering they do have so many wagon wheels. As I said, I'm going to head home. I'll show you the couple of items I bought at the dollar store when I get home. So I made it home from the flea market safely. You forgot what I looked like, didn't you? Well, like I let you forget. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I got at the dollar store. not too much. Like I said, I
I got
spent
a deck of
$2 playing cards because I want to do a video about playing cards, a little bit about their history. And I also got little plants. The landlady just recently brought some plants from her workplace, and they inspired me to start growing some plants of my own again. And these Chinese plants are pretty easy. They're pretty sturdy. If they're not bamboo, they're closely related, and you can put them pretty much in anything. They had them in trays at the flea market. You can just grow them in water. You can grow them in stones and water, in loose dirt, or full garden dirt, and they do pretty well. They're a little slow growing, but they do pretty well. And that was my flea market haul. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up down there, and you can always give me a comment. I need to know how I'm doing so I can know what to do in the future. And if you think you want to watch more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you later.